Hi everybody, Marty Rubin here, and back for another segment of Marty's Corner. And we have Jill Taylor Anthony here, who we last saw on the last summer at Hairspray, where she was, the audiences loved you as Penny Pinkerton's wacky mom.
Yes.
Okay, and now they're loving you all over again as Paulette,
right.
The sweet, adorable Paulette.
A different version of wacky.
Yes, yes. How are you enjoying being back here at the Argyle Theater?
Oh my gosh. First of all, I loved being here doing Hairspray. Like, it's such an easy commute from the city. It's such a cute walk from the train. And then you guys are all so wonderfully nice. And the backstage crew, like, so many are the same, Legally Blonde to Hairspray. And so it's like a family. So when I knew I was coming back here, like, I was so excited. When we moved into the theater for tech, I was like, yes, it's like coming home. So I was thrilled to come back.
That's great. You played Paulette on the national tour.
I did.
What is the audiences like around this the country compared to Long Island? How would you compare that?
Actually, there's like kind of a similarity among all. Like, sure, some audiences, will think one thing's funnier than another, but that's honestly different even day to day here. So I feel like if it's funny, it's funny. And so, like, there are certain things that hit almost every single audience, and then there are certain things that you'll be doing a show and you hear a response and you're like, oh, they're listening. Like, they got that, they put that together, they realized this, and maybe it's somebody who's seen the show before and maybe not.
Right.
So I feel like there's actually, like, pretty uniformity across, like, audiences. They think it's like they get the same stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
You sing a lot of different kinds of songs in here. You're serious songs, funny songs, emotional songs. How is it to gear up for those different kinds of emotions?
Yeah. I feel like, first of all, because it's in the context of a show, I get there by the scene that is written that leads me into it, which is nice. And then it's so funny because I've never really been like a ballad girl, and the first song that I sing is the more serious one that you're referencing.
Right.
And so it's funny because I've always judged them as boring or something, but man, like, it's really one of my favorite songs to sing because every night I get to just live in this space with Elle, taking her on a journey with me. And so it's a little bit different for me every night too.
Yes.
And then you go into act 2 where it's this more upbeat whatever, but again, what leads into that is like this insecurity and then stepping into this security of like fun and just, yeah, so it's like a roller coaster ride for me, but in the best way possible.
But then you take on a whole nother song, Bend and Snap.
Right.
Who thought that sweet, lovable Paulette could rock that song? But you do. I mean, we won't spoil it, but what is it like playing a song like that?
So much fun. And also what's fun is that people who know the movie, the minute I tell them that I'm playing Paulette, they're like, oh, Bend and Snap. And some of them don't even know it's a song. They just know that Bend and Snap move. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's a song.
Yes, yes.
Like, it's a song.
You need to see this song. It's worth
so
it.
fun from beginning to end. It is so fun to just like to start off with this like bit of insecurity when the other girls are kind of showing me the way, and then to just like step into it and go. It's so fun.
You make that song your own. You do it. It's good. You share some scenes with Rufus, the dog.
I do.
Is it a little unpredictable to have a dog in one of your scenes?
Yes, but not in a bad way. Like, unpredictable. First of all, the first time I bring him out, I'm carrying him, and he's pretty much just like along for the ride. But at the same time,
he's quite a leading man. Right?
He is, and everyone loves him. He often gets exit applause. But I guess similarly to working with humans, because humans can be unpredictable too, like you have your fail-safes, you know what I mean? Like if I have to pick him up and carry him because he doesn't want to go on the leash, I can.
Right.
And he's been so great. And he even does things like when Kyle walks off the stage, he'll turn and walk, and it's like almost like he knows what he's doing.
He's funny.
He is. He's like advancing the plot line, like, oh, I'm in love with this guy too. Like, he's great. So there was one day that I feel like I may have like pulled, like I wasn't looking, I was like walking and assuming he was walking with me, and I heard across the floor, and I was like, I'm dragging the dog. And so there's those little things too where I'm like, and then I look back and he's like just a little slower than I was walking, and so I'm like, all right, we're good. I'm not dragging the dog.
You know, Jill, you to me are a glue actor, and what I mean by that, that's the highest compliment I can give you. In sports, there are teams that have glue players. You do not win without these glue players. You get championships with glue players. To me, you're a glue actor.
Wow.
The roles that you play are so pivotal to the success of the show. How does it feel to have that kind of an important role?
Amazing, and that's very kind of you. Like, I think one of the beauties about Paulette is that the audience roots for her. Like, she is an underdog in a lot of ways, and she's such a great compliment to go with Elle, because Elle spurs her on her journey, so then it pulls the audience in too, to be with Elle and Paulette. And so when Paulette has a win, the audience is so invested, and so, like, it's part of why she's so fun to play.
Yes.
Because the audience just goes along and wants her to win, and wants her to find love, and wants her to be a successful person. And so it's wonderful. Like, it's wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. You're a naturally funny person. That's very obvious. I mean, did you enjoy, as a kid, making people laugh?
Always.
Something tells me that was the case.
Always. I mean, it's like, I used to joke that I came out singing, but I probably came out singing and laughing. I mean, I love to laugh. I love to find humor in life. It's what gets me through the hardest things too, right? Like, life is not always fun and easy, but at the same time, if you can have a good sense of humor and find the joy, find the funny, find the silver lining in it, then it makes it easier to tackle. And so I love laughing. I love spurring off of people.
Yes.
I always say, like, I don't love being the center of attention. I love being the co-center of attention. I love laughing with people and, like, creating funny, which is why theater is great. So people say you should be a stand-up comedian, and I'm like, I don't know if I would like that, because then I am alone. Where I love interacting with other people, 100%.
Right. There's some important messages in this show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very entertaining show, but there are some important messages that the audience gets every night.
Totally.
What do you think some of those messages are?
Yeah. So I think some of it is to be who you are, and that's enough. And that you don't, like, if there is someone that you are trying to impress and you're trying to change yourself in order to win that person over, maybe they're not the right fit for you. And I think that is both Elle's story and Paulette's story. Obviously that, the underdog, right? Elle's an underdog in her own right. Paulette is an underdog. That just because somebody else doesn't necessarily see your potential right away doesn't mean it's not there, and it doesn't mean it won't bloom. You also have to find your people. Who will bring out the best in you, who will see that seed inside of you and help water it and help you grow.
Right.
Elle does that for everyone that she meets. And obviously, right now, women empowerment is a big thing in our society, which I guess it has been for years, but it's still a conversation. Elle is a leader. And she already has the tools that she needs, and she gets help along the way to bring her into the fullness of what she was already created to be, what was already inside of her.
Right.
In the best way possible, not by pretending, not by turning brunette, not by becoming, Emmett sees what was already inside of her. She does the same for him, and I feel like, I could go on and on. But.
Jill, thank you so much for being on Marty's Corner.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it very much. All right, if you want to come and see Jill bring it every night and twice on Saturday.
That's right.
Please come down to the Argyle Theater. Legally Blonde is playing through Sunday, August 25th, and we're looking forward to seeing you all down here.
Bye.